Hey Queen, if you can hear the sounds of my voice, I want to remind you that you are amazing. You have overcome 100% of your worst days. And I don't think that that's celebrated enough. I don't think that we really take the time to look back and see all the things that we've journeyed through and sit down and say, wow, I'm a survivor. I have been through difficulties in life. I have been through heartbreak in life. I have been through disappointment. I've overcome fear. I've overcome stress. And I'm here, still standing, still choosing to enter into another day, still choosing to take on whatever obstacles may lie ahead of me. And if you're able to do that, Queen, know that you are so strong. And that is something to celebrate. So in this episode of the Champagne Diamonds podcast, I want to encourage you to remember who you are. Because the fact that you have overcome so many obstacles in life to be here right now is amazing. Welcome to the Champagne Diamonds podcast. I am your host, Nadine Russell, and I'm so glad you decided to join me today. This podcast was created for queens, women who are ready to step into their power, women who are looking towards their vision and embracing the journey along the way. Women who are ready to be unapologetic about being their authentic selves. If this is you, keep listening. Hey Queen, hey, what is up? Welcome to another episode of the Champagne Diamonds podcast. I'm your host, Nadine Russell, and I'm super excited to get on today to talk to you about remembering who you are. Remembering who you are. Because let's face it, life is not always easy. Life can be rough and tough. Life can be unexplainable. A lot of things that can happen to us that are outside of our control. And we continue to rise up. We continue to move forward. We continue to trust in the journey. We continue to wake up every single day and trust that there is a plan and a purpose for our life. And that is amazing because there's so many people who gave up. There's so many people who decided that they couldn't take it anymore, that they couldn't handle any more stress, that they couldn't deal with any more circumstances, that they wanted to give up. And it happens. I know I've been there where I've asked myself, Nadine, what are you doing? Okay, Nadine, it's time to give up. The walls are caving in around you. Everything feels like it's falling apart. What are you doing? Why are you still trying? Why are you still moving forward? I've asked myself those questions, but ultimately, if you are still here, you are still standing, it is because there is something purposeful for you to fulfill. There is something within you that is trying to come forth. There is a plan and a purpose for your life that far exceeds your imagination. So in this episode, I really just want to remind you who you are. I want to remind you to take that time to sit with yourself and to look at your accomplishments. Not to zero in and focus on the things that make you sad or make you frustrated, but focus on the aspect that you overcame those things and that inside of all of those things was a lesson. This year has been a very tumultuous year for myself. I was speaking to a friend the other day and I said, it's amazing that I'm here still standing at this point in time because no stone in my life was left unturned this year. Not one stone. Every single aspect of my life got touched, okay? And it hasn't been easy. I've spent a lot of time in meditation. I spent a lot of time praying. I spent a lot of time visualizing. I spent a lot of time going deep within, going inward, and trying to discover the deeper lessons behind everything that I've experienced this year. And a lot of times it's not going to be crystal clear. A lot of times you may still feel discouraged, but just know that this is just a part of the journey. Know that this aspect, if you are facing any struggles or any stress in your life, that there is a reason for this. This was not meant to break you. This was meant to build you. There are things that you are going to learn when you are going through difficulties in life that are going to help you to get out on the other side. There's things that you're going to learn when you are going through difficulties that are going to enable you and empower you to help somebody else when someone else is going through their difficulties and they need your words of wisdom and they need your inspiration. The journeys that we go through in life, and I know if you've been watching me for a while, especially on Instagram, I believe that we're all connected. And the obstacles that we face in our life is not just for us, it's to help other people. So as you are going through any obstacles or any challenges in life right now, I want to encourage you to not look at the obstacle and be frustrated by the obstacle and feel stressed out that you may or may not have overcome that obstacle in the best way possible. But just look at the fact that you have overcome it. Or even if you're not fully out, look at yourself and remember that who you are now and how you're dealing with that circumstance shows your growth. I was thinking when I was talking to my friend, I said, man, years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if I had went through these same circumstances that I'm going through now, I would have handled it completely differently. So I'm recognizing that everything that I'm going through is a test to see, have I grown? Is a test to see what have I learned? Is a test to see what I really want in life. It's been a test for me to remember who I am and to ask myself, am I going to let situations and circumstances break me down? Am I going to let situations and circumstances prevent me from continuing to be who I know I am meant to be? And I get it. It's not always easy. Oh, trust and believe I get it. This podcast was supposed to be bi-weekly episodes going up, but I just couldn't do that this year. I had to really sit back and give myself that grace. I had to sit back and think about where I am in life and how I'm going to overcome these challenges that I am facing and how I'm really feeling, and go deeper and do a deep dive and a deep search into where I am now and where I want to be. That has been a part of my journey. And I could look at the circumstance and be like, okay, Nadine, you've not posted a podcast episode for a few weeks now. You might as well let that go. That's not for you. But I know that there's individuals that love the Champagne Diamonds podcast. And they don't really care if I haven't posted an episode in a couple weeks, because they love the wisdom and the inspiration that they get, because they learn something. And it inspires them and it motivates them. And this is my truth and my authenticity of my journey, is that it's not easy all the time. No matter if you see people smiling through their struggles, we never really know what anyone is going through. And that's why I need you to remember who you are, because the things that you have gone through are creating a completely different version of yourself. The things that you're going through is building your strength. It's building your resilience. It's building your wisdom. And I just wanted to share a couple things you can do if you're struggling right now to remember your worth. If you're struggling right now to remember that you're amazing. If you're struggling right now to remember that there is more to life. There is more for you to do. For me, the biggest thing for me, like I've shared many, many times before, is meditation. Just taking that time to sit, taking that time to feel the feels, taking that time to be still, taking that time just to be, not to look at the circumstance, not to look at what's going wrong, not to look at what could have, should have, would have, but to just be, just to sit in silence, just to listen to our breath, just to listen to our heartbeat. There is so much beauty in stillness. There is so much we can discover about ourselves when we are just still and we just take time to observe. So that, I think, is very, very helpful when you're going through any obstacle. It's going to get you to a point of just recognizing how amazing it is that you have life, that you have breath. To be still and recognize that your body is doing this without you asking. You don't have to ask your body to breathe. And that is a gift. That alone is a reminder that you are amazing, that you are wonderful, that you are divinely made. The second thing is journaling, which is a practice I used to do years ago, and I got away from it, but I've been getting more into it this year. And it's such a beautiful practice just to write, just to put pen to paper and to just write and let your feelings out, let your emotions out. To ask your inner self questions and put that pen to the paper and see what comes out. If you've not heard about this method of writing before or journaling before, it's called automatic writing. Let me know if you guys would like me to share more about it, or definitely go ahead and do a Google search, because you know what I'm saying, Google is our friend. But automatic writing is such a beautiful way to tap into our subconscious and figure out what we're really thinking and what we're really feeling. And sometimes the answers that we write will amaze us. Scripting is another form of journaling that I love so much. When I sit down and I start thinking about where I am and where I want to be and how I want to grow as an individual, and know that I am worthy of having those dreams met, having those expectations and those desires come into alignment, come into being, come into existence. And recognizing that those things can happen. And claiming those things that I want in my life, even though situations may be hard right now, even though situations may be difficult, even though you may be going through something mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever it may be. Having the desire to still have gratitude for what you have now, but still see a vision and an expectation of what you're able to achieve, and be at peace with being able to detach from it and not looking at yourself differently because you don't have those things now, but looking at yourself in gratitude to say, wow, look what you have accomplished, and look how much more you can accomplish if you continue to trust and believe in yourself and know your magnificence. So the third thing that I'm going to say, which was the number one thing that came to my mind about remembering who you are, is affirmations. Affirmations are an amazing way to remember who you are. To remind yourself every single day that I am powerful. I am abundant. I am strong. I am amazing. Because the words I am are the two most powerful words when you say them. Anything you say after that can become a reality. Even if you don't believe that it's real and it's true right now, it can become a reality. So what are you affirming to yourself? I want you to remember who you are. On those days when you do great things, when you're proud of yourself, when you've accomplished things that you didn't think you can accomplish, what are the things that you're saying to yourself? I am amazing. I am so proud of myself. Even in situations and circumstances where you may not be feeling on top of the world, you need to remember that you are still amazing, that you can still be proud of yourself. You can still be proud of yourself. And the fourth thing that I'm going to add is mantras and declarations and prayers, where you are tapping into the truth of who you are, where you are decreeing and declaring things as though you wish they were. Because life and death is in the power of the tongue. We seem to think that the things we say hold no power, they hold no merit, but our words are spells. That's why it's called spelling. When we speak, our words carry power. What are we saying to ourselves? What are we saying about ourselves? What are we saying about others? Being mindful of those words that we say and the things that we put out, because believe it or not, even the things that you say negatively about other people can come back and affect you. So being mindful of the words that you say, the thoughts that you feel, or the emotions that you feel. But I hope you caught that, because I hope you caught that, the thoughts that you feel. Because nothing can manifest without feeling. And thoughts generate feelings. So the words that you say and the emotions behind the words that you say can manifest things into reality. If you didn't catch that, rewind it real quick, Queen. Rewind real quick, and I need you to sit with that. Remember who you are. And I'm going to do something a little bit different for this episode as we're wrapping up, as we're winding down for this episode. So I created something called the Vision Party Masterclass. And in there is a workbook. And in that workbook, I share some mantras as well as some affirmations. So before we wrap up this episode, I wanted to just go in and end off with some affirmations to help uplift you, as well as a mantra. So that way you can listen to it and let it sink into your soul. Let it sink into your mind, and you can really start embodying that and living that out for yourself. And write down some of these affirmations. Write down these affirmations that resonate with you and say them. Okay? So, I am successful because I am walking in my purpose. I am trusting my journey to success. I am happy for all the opportunities in my life. I am thankful for my abundant life. I choose to love myself unconditionally. I have so much to be grateful for every day. I am always blessed and grateful. I am confident in who I am and what I stand for. I trust myself and the decisions I make. I am thankful for the person I am becoming. I always operate in the fullness of my potential. And this is the mantra that stuck out to me. Typically mantras aren't in Sanskrit, but these are mantras that I created as a part of the Queen class. I am currently up leveling the Queen class, so bear with me. And here's the mantra. I am at peace with my divinity. I am at peace with the truth of who I am. I honor my mind, body, and spirit. I stand in gratitude for the experiences that have shaped me and made me who I am. I accept them and myself fully. For I know that my experiences are an important part of my journey. I lean into loving myself to the core, choosing to fully accept myself, choosing to be content with the essence of who I am, not striving to be anyone else. Instead, I take pride in being me and being who I was called and chosen to be. I step into my calling with humility and grace. I allow my authentic presence to radiate in everything that I do. I will not allow my fears of judgment or persecution to stop me from showing up. I will not internalize the projections of others, for they do not know, nor do they understand the work that I have been chosen to complete. My work is my sacred birthright. And I do a disservice to myself and the world if I refuse to step into it. I will not downplay my potential and abilities. Instead, I will take pride in the intricacies that make me who I am. There is no one exactly like me on this planet. Therefore, I know that my unique purpose cannot be fulfilled by anyone else. So I do not wish to be anyone else. I only desire to reconnect to my higher self so I can reinforce the potency of my authenticity. This is my pledge to myself. Today, tomorrow, and forevermore. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and so shall it be. Thank you so much, Queens, for tuning in to another episode of the Champagne Diamonds podcast. I hope you enjoyed the mantras and the affirmations and that you'll sit with them and save this episode, listen to it as much as you can, the affirmations and the mantra to remind yourself that you're amazing and you have so much to fulfill. That's why you're here. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Champagne Diamonds. I look forward to seeing you again in the next one.